Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner. We're on Absolute Radio. I'm with Emily and I'm with Alun.
Morning.
Hi.
Yeah. Did you actually say what?
I think we need to workshop your greeting.
Oh, I'm awful. That could catch on.
I think so.
That could catch on about 15 years ago. So, what's new? What? Jeremy Clarkson has upset everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's looking good.
He looks great. I think I have a certain sympathy because I think that although I categorically disagree with everything he said, in fact, everything he's ever said, I think he has the disadvantage that his brain is a lot further from his mouth than most people.
Big.
There must be 18 inches between his brain and his tongue.
Journey, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's a massive distance to
during
cover.
that journey, it gets more right wing, I suppose. It's like as you get older, you get more right wing. That's the problem.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
I've actually become a member of the French Greens. Don't know quite how that's happened. I'm on Mange 2 at the moment. Mange 1, I must say, was a bit chewy. I liken this one better. You know, they've settled into the characters now in Mange 2. Right. If you want to text us about anything, we're on 8 12 15. Yeah, don't look at me, I didn't make the number up. I have made the number up in the past. What a nice man that George Michael is. So, I'll tell you what, can I start before we go any further?
You can start.
You know, we've been talking about... for the last few weeks about TV shows and the like that were only made because people come up with the title that they thought was a clever pun. I've been talked about it for 3 weeks. I got an offer this week to present a show to show, as it said, the way people who work in football have got more refined tastes than people might think. That's the kind of strapline. It's called Footballers' Wines.
Oh!
Wines?
In which people from football sample fine wines and offer their comments.
That sounds nice, yeah.
Oh, man, I was tempted to do it just for the pun of it. But,
Now, Frank, what have you been up to this week? Because I heard a rumour...
I heard a rumour.
There was some Absolute-based work going on.
There was. I was. I got a fast train from Norwich to King's Cross. Well, actually, I went via Liverpool Street.
It's a funny country and western song.
Yeah, and there was a big... Do you remember the Faces for Radio campaign?
Yeah.
It was pictures of me, Christian O'Connell, and Dave Gorman, my colleagues here at Absolute. Looking like we'd just got up, and it was the idea that we had faces for radio. That basically, that we were too ugly for television was the theory. And now we had another photo shoot for the new campaign this week, but no one's actually told me what it's called, nor have I quite worked out the theme. But we were all dressed in various forms of 19th century.
Oh, a bit Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen.
Well, I was wearing a canvas straitjacket.
Oh, goodness.
I was a sort of as far as I could tell, I was a Victorian...
lunatic.
I was an asylum inmate.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think it might be called Faces for the 19th Century, the new campaign. Yeah, so there's a weird bit. I have to be behind bars in a straitjacket, leering out, is the look they're after.
Oh.
I don't know what this is.
The how they mentioned it in the script then? He leers.
Leering.
Well, the thing was that the woman had to put makeup on me to make me look more mad. So as I had to lean through the bars. I imagine that this is what it was like in the 19th century, that women went past and lunatics would lean out and say, "Oh, lady, give us a little bit of mascara." And it was very like that. Ian Wright was there.
Was he?
Ian Wright was dressed as Florence Nightingale, the Lady of the Lamp.
Oh, good heavens.
Truthfully,
I don't
know whether or not
tending for victims of the Crimean War. And you just can't put the balm on a musket wound and use an isotonic sports drink. It has to be properly medicinal. No, I don't know. I didn't see him in his gear. He was just dressed as Ian Wright when I saw him.
Yeah.
Dave Gorman was a street urchin.
Yes, I can see that.
But he had a beard.
No, I'm a big fan of Dave's, but I can see him as a street urchin.
I don't like bearded street urchin. It looked like a sort of Victorian version of the South American wolf boys. Who I always find. But it was good. I'll tell you something, though. If there's any lunatics listening, you'll know that first thing that happens when you put on a canvas straitjacket is you want to scratch your nose. Immediate, the first thing that happens. So I'm really looking forward to see what the theme will be on that.
I can't wait to see what Ian Wright's clobber is.
Yeah, well, he was in fairly wild gear, and then he went home in it. So that was his tricks. You know, he wears like little crazy hats and stuff.
Yeah.
Righty, as I believe we're supposed to call him.
Yeah.
I always call him Ian.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I don't want to be controversial, but I've always called him Ian. And that's the way it goes with me and Ian. It's as simple as that. I always went... Freddie Flintoff, I always called Andrew, and he always looked at me in a kind of a, well, what do you mean by that? kind of a way. I think you're not going to know someone well to go into nickname territory.
Oh, I dive straight in.
Yeah. Neil Fox, I didn't speak to.
Absolute Radio, Frank Skinner.
We've had an email in from... I can't see his name. Tom. An email from Tom saying, hello, Frank, Emily and Alan. My wife and I went on our first date 4 years ago to see Frank do stand-up in Barnstable. 4 years on, we've got married, emigrated to Australia. I'm sure it was better than that.
Yeah, it's quite a shout. I thought that was the get out of this country tour.
All right, was it? And we are expecting our first child in January. Congratulations.
Lovely. I was a January baby myself.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it? I've always been a fan of Frank's and listen to the podcasts every week. I would like Frank and the team, that's us, Emily, to help me with a little problem.
Oh dear.
With 6 weeks to go, we have no idea what to call our baby. With our surname being Light, all I can seem to do is find completely unsuitable yet comical ones. My favourite so far is Angel D. Light.
Good.
Yes.
Good. I really love that. We'll come back to that. Or boys Ivor Light and Noah Light. Please help me by exhausting...
Noah Light?
What's Noah Light?
Noah Light, as in Noah...
Noah as in the Ark, but Noah Light.
I think it's Ivor Light and Noah Light.
No
Light.
Well, I'm not happy with that.
Okay.
I think you can
Can't
strike.
be that strict, Frank.
You can strike that one off, Tom. I think. Let's get it down to a manageable amount.
Strike that light.
Nice.
The lady did a pun.
Oh God, that's the second strike joke of the week. Let's hope that one doesn't go so badly.
I think people that make strike jokes should be taken outside and shot. That's what I think.
I think they should be taken outside and then taken back inside again.
All right, yeah. Perhaps given a hot drink.
I'm a pacifist.
Yeah, aren't you? Please help me by exhausting all the silly ones so that I can move on and actually find a name that works before my wife loses patience with me. Hope you can help. Tom. Well, we'll try, Tom. We'll certainly try.
Tom Light.
Tom Light.
Tom Light. Yeah, that doesn't work either.
No.
What's
If
his
it's a
parents
girl-
thinking of?
If it's a girl, you could go Flora.
Flora Light?
Yeah.
It's a boy. Oh yeah, Flora Light. I've only just got it. I've only just got it. That's very good.
Idiotic Eureka
Yeah.
moment.
What's that cheese you like, Frank?
Philadelphia.
No, Leodama Light. Oh, but then you'd need life in
that's
brackets.
called Leodama Light Life, though.
Oh.
Unless she marries someone called Life, which, let's face it, it's 1 million to 1 shot. I think for a boy, Ed.
Ed Light. What, Headlight?
Oh, Headlight. Oh, that's good.
She could maybe name it, if it was a boy, they could name it after Ackerbilk.
Yeah.
Acolyte.
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 Oh, yeah,
it's a lovely word for a follower, you see.
Yeah.
I was also thinking Maggie, Mag for short.
Maglight.
Maglight, nice.
Do you know Maglight? Looking at me, you don't know me at all, do you?
The big torch, like
it's a boy's joke.
Like the stage managers have on their belts.
Okay, that would work as an industry-based one.
Yeah. Theodore for the surveyors.
Theodolite.
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 You know what theodolites? Those things on tripods that men with hard hats look to in the middle of the street. You think, what's he looking at?
Is that what they're
That's
doing?
a theodolite. Yeah, they're surveying those people.
Oh, good. I'm going to know that next time. I'm going to walk past and go, oh, it's
But they're living in
theodolite.
Australia, so they need to make it environment friendly.
Yeah.
Skylight.
Sky.
Sky, get girls called
Sky's a
Sky.
nice
Oh,
name
yeah.
for a girl,
Yeah.
isn't it? But not if you're serving
Miller as
Light,
well.
can't
You can
do.
get Miller.
Miller Lite, that's a good one.
Yeah. Good for
name-
Australians as well,
You can
Frank.
name
They
it
like a
after.
beer.
You can name it after Flash Gordon.
Oh, that's... Flash is a terrible name,
Flashlight.
Frank.
You could name it after Razor Ruddock.
Well, we've
Razor
already
light.
had some suggestions in. I think we might need to open it to the
Have we
floor.
really? Are we going to
What about Saeed?
Sidelight?
Oh, this will take us a couple of hours.
yeah. Tune in at 5 to 10 and we're still
Yeah.
doing this.
Okay. Well, if you've got any suggestions for the Light baby's name,
The Light Baby.
we don't know if it's. We don't know what.
I don't know if we know what you
No, I
kind.
don't know. Don't tell us. You know,
No.
keep it to you. Keep it to yourself. That's all right.
Well, it'll need to keep spelt with that surname.
Oh, that's another thought.
Keep them
as
off the
well.
carbs,
Yeah.
love.
Or her.
Yes.
Heavy
So,
light.
what lovely advice for the new baby. Keep it off the carbs.
Get body dysmorphic as soon as you can.
Oh, truly, this
Absolutely.
is the 21st century.
Absolute Radio with Frank Skinner.
So, yes, we've had lots of replies to the Light baby's name, but they have to be proper names. There's never been, ever, in the history of the world, a child called Roxanne. You don't have to put out the red. Don't be ridiculous.
All right. That's one text we can delete then.
Yeah.
No, but we've had a...
That was from me. I've got to be
How
honest
about
with
a
you.
nostalgia 30s baby named Baker? Baker Light.
514 Bud Light.
Body's good.
Yes,
Yeah.
I like that.
Can I not? Can I ask the people at Absolute Radio not to take "body's good" out of this in context and use it in an advert context? That'd be terrible.
Paula Light. Paula Light.
Paula Light.
Paula Light. Say really quickly. Paula Light.
Paula Light.
I think it's someone just likes the name Paul, basically.
Is it Paul or Paula?
Paula on one of them. We've had a few saying Paul Light, but I think that's almost like a cricket joke. Poor Light stops
Oh,
players.
Paula Light.
Yeah.
319 Hi Gang, how about Ezra Light? Ezra
Oh, the Ezra Light. Now, look, I did the accent, but I think I got away with it. It just came out. Right?
Don't mention the strikes.
No.
21,000 complaints
Oh, no.
for that.
It's tough, isn't it? It's tough nowadays.
We've had another text in. Hello, Frank. My surname is also Light, and in 48 years I've heard them all. From Fanny by Gas to Osram. Take my advice and change your Oz listener. Tell your Oz listener to change your surname to Smith. Regards, Steve Light. P.S. My boy's name is also Tom, and his mother picked it. I wanted Toby.
Toby Light would have been fine, as is Tom. Yeah. You got to be careful, haven't you? Because it's going to last a lifetime, possibly. My
Yeah.
middle name is Kerr, Kerr, which makes it sound like if I had been christened that the vicar had a stutter, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Alun Cochrane. So even like Light, you'd have to be careful about Lulu because it'd sound
Yeah.
like Lulu Light. That's an awkwardness.
It
about
would sound like
Lulu Light.
Lula Light.
Lulu Light.
Oh, I see.
Just too
Yeah.
many L's right before Light, wouldn't it?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I would go for Martin.
Gaslight's good.
Gaslight.
Gaslight.
Oh, yeah.
Gaslight, that's good. Gaslight. I like
If ever he wrote a book called Fanny,
that. Yes.
the cover itself would be worth.
Sounds more like a magazine, to be honest.
Get out. Go on. Right, no. Right out. No, right out. He's gone.
I was offered that role. I genuinely was. I
What,
turned
Fanny
it
by
down.
Gaslight?
Yes. Yes, I turned it down for
Too
Day of the
dangerous.
Triffids. That's the
I turned it down for Day of the Triffids. That's the kind of sentence I want to hear on this show.
Tune in next week for another chapter of the Partridge biography. That's great.
Every now and again, I slightly stand back from this show and think, do people really say stuff like that? Like just before we came on air, Emily said
Oh,
that I was
don't.
looking in the beauty cupboard the other day. The beauty cupboard, a piece of furniture where beauty resides. Do you think the Beast had a beauty cupboard after she died? But he kept it in an urn. Oh, the smouldering remains of beauty. I say smouldering, I imagine eventually they cooled. As all loves do.
extraordinary.
If you're listening, Kath, mine hasn't. Got to be so
Caveat.
careful, haven't you? There's your girlfriend, the strikers. Everyone's waiting to be offended. He was so wrong about the strike. I thought the strike this week, it was like the royal wedding. I've never known such a lovely popular, warm-hearted strike children holding up banners. Oh, really? All it needed was a slightly balding young man driving a young woman down the mall with his handbrake on. It would have been another one of those fabulous... You know, he had the handbrake on all the way down the mall.
Really?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
and did Charles wasn't... He got angry because he ruined the car.
Yes, it hasn't helped the car, shouldn't it? Oh, he can turn, Charles. I mean, I've seen it at close hand.
Have you?
Oh, God. I saw him nearly tried to strangle this African chieftain. When we toured together in the 60s. And the bloke, apparently, I don't know, he's... something about the way he was dancing. Charles thought he was taking the mickey out of him, and he just went. It was all kept quiet, of course, by the papers. I'd never seen anything like it.
Till now.
No, in the end, I had to drag him to the ground, rub his face in horse mess. I didn't feel good about that.
Absolute Radio with Frank Skinner.
What else?
Well, I tell you what else, Frank. I love an auction. I do. I particularly like it when a celebrity's involved in an auction, because I like celebrity memorabilia. I collect it, in fact, inadvertently sometimes.
Yes, it's just left behind, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But John Lennon has...
Oh, yes.
Have you seen this?
His to-do list.
It's his list of chores. And it's up for auction at the moment.
What I like about this piece of memorabilia, it sort of changed its nature.
Yeah.
When it first came out, they said they thought he'd written it for himself. And when I read it, it didn't make any sense at all, because it sort of says "be there," block capitals underlined, and he thought he's too hard on himself. But of course, turns out he's talking to Fred Seaman, his PA, telling him what to do.
His list of instructions is great, though. He has buy marmalade, which I like.
I like that, because it's written... There's no messing about with that, is there?
No.
I would just write marmalade and think, well, how else are they going to get it?
Yeah.
I can't remember where it was. I'll tell you what, I went raspberry picking in Venice in the 1980s. I think we all did. And there was a guy woke up on the campsite one morning, desperate for jam, and it was like 7 o'clock, and he was just going, jam, and I'll do anything. If anyone's got any jam, please, I must have some jam. And he was really like going mad. And I heard a voice say, I've got some damson. And he went, has anyone got any other flavours? I thought, you were desperate. The damson has been your... So I know that feeling now. I personally think marmalade's quite vile.
Do you?
Oh, you'd be no friend to Paddington.
What's the point of taking stuff that you don't eat and trying to sneak it into other food?
What, like
my
oranges?
view on
Orange
onions.
peel.
Oh, orange peel.
Yeah, it's orange peel.
Yeah. Anyway,
He also had, which I like, tell me about hairdryer, yay or nay,
I love that.
which I adore.
I love the archaic language.
he sounds horrible, do you think? When he says be there, block capitals, that is, I would never write that to my personal assistant. It's so aggressive.
Really?
If anyone ever texts me in block capitals, I always text back, there's no need to shout.
Yes, they do deserve that.
He also, there's one
Be
area
there.
as well where I think he's getting a bit nasty. He's turned, Prince Charles. He says, would it be a good idea to make sure both cars have full gas tanks?
Yeah, exactly.
I like
it's not
that,
often
though.
you can read sarcasm,
No,
but you can read
very
it there.
imagine no possessions.
Wouldn't
that I
it
find.
be? Wouldn't it be a good idea? You can hear it, can't
Do you
you?
think they've done a whole journey with the red light on, and John Lennon's just
I
like,
think
"We're
just
gonna
him and
run out.
Roxanne.
We're gonna run out.
Yeah. Both cars. Oh, can you hear it?
Yeah.
Give it to Mary.
2 Jags.
Do you know Give It to Mary?
Give it to Mary.
Paul McCartney wrote a song called Those Were the Days, My Friend. It's called Those Were the Days.
Oh,
you know it?
yeah.
Those were the days. And they gave it to Mary Hopkin, who was like, she'd just won a talent show, I believe, something like that. And she got to number 1. It was a big hit. But it was a real sing-along song, and apparently after that, every time Paul McCartney came up with one of his lovely melodic tunes and said, what about, here's the new song I've written, John would say, give it to Mary. Horrible. We loved him, but we think he was horrible. I suppose that's the bottom line.
He certainly sounds tetchy at times. There's a bit on the for the benefit of Mr. Kite, where a guy sort of plays. He says, "Oh, take 2 on for the benefit of Mr. Kite," and you can hear John Lennon going, "Being for the benefit of Mr. Kite," like properly tetchy. This is the song title. It's 1 extra word.
But one of the things that he says on this is, Tor Heyerdahl book, Return. Now, I only ever know one. It's interesting, this. Thor Heyerdahl was a sort of a Scandinavian explorer.
Oh.
And he did the Kon-Tiki expedition, which was when I think it was the Vikings. It was based on the Vikings could have gone wherever. So he built a raft as the Vikings would have built it and went on this perilous voyage. And it was the only book in our house as a child I ever remember seeing. We had a Bible. We had a Bible and Thor Heyerdahl's The Kon-Tiki Expedition. I'm starting to wonder if it might have been John Lennon's. But I love the fact about that John Lennon wants a book back. All right. Yeah. Buy another one, John. You can afford it. Well, actually, I've given it to Mary. I misunderstood your previous instructions. Oh, no. So, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't come across well.
By the way, I think I've still got your Simon D book.
Have you?
But then again, you've still got you've got my Audrey Tattoo DVD.
I have.
This is the sort of thing that you could do while playing a song, innit?
But I do like the idea.
You're on the radio, don't you?
I'm in that position. I haven't read the Simon. You know, when someone
I haven't watched the Audrey Tattoo.
No, well, that's it. So you don't want to give it back, but you don't want to think you couldn't be bothered to either read or watch what you've been given.
I don't think this show has ever descended into one of those accidental phone calls where you just hear a conversation between.
No, but what do you do when someone gives you a book? You know, 'cause when you deliver it back, you've got to give them a bit of a review.
Well, that's what I've had with the film.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to watch it.
Can I say, not reading a book is a bit of a bigger, you know, it's a bit more justifiable than not watching a 90-minute DVD. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you can stick your DVD.
Frank Skinner. Absolute Radio.
The thing, though, with knitwear is I don't really go in for knitwear because I think knitwear is only nice until the first wash.
Yeah.
It's never the same.
That's true, Frank.
It's never the same. I don't care if you'd wash it in cold water with no soap. Still never the same. They should sort that. It's the 21st century.
There's always the danger of bobbling.
Yeah, there is.
Frank was referring to my horse knitwear, and we then touched on our mutual contempt for horses.
Did you say horse knit?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Horse knitwear.
It's a jumper with a horse on the front.
Oh, has it got a horse on the... Oh, sorry, your monitor's in the way. I thought, what's she talking about? Horse knitwear? Yeah, is it made of horse? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I didn't see the horse. Now it's all falling into place. Yeah, we were saying that we loved it. The whole image of the noble stallion and that beautiful... the symmetry, the muscular definition. But the actual creatures are vile.
I'd actually go so far as to say they're rank.
Rank? You go that far? Do you get horse ranks? Like taxi rank?
Yeah, I think so.
You did in the Wild West.
Back in the day.
Is there a horse rank round here? I'm thinking I might have a drink tonight. So I'm not taking my horse.
We don't like that you have to earn their respect. That's what people say.
No, I have to earn the respect of a horse. A horse? I'm afraid you need to do what you're told. You're a horse. And I am the steward of civilization. Get over it. Do
you think that's what Clarkson thought he was asked about? Do you think he thought it was horses and he was going, they should be taken outside and shot? I
think that I'm hoping they're outside in general.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want your indoor horse.
No, I hate the indoor horses. They're like indoor fireworks. They're not really fireworks at all.
No. Now, Frank, we've had an IEM.
Let me explain. An IEM is an idiotic eureka moment, i.e. something that you get much later than everyone else. I don't mean like if you got rickets now. I mean if there was a joke or something like that was around for years before you went, oh God, of course.
Well, this is from Paul Bowden, or Bowden, however you prefer. Let's call the whole thing off. He says, I'd always struggled with understanding the popularity of the song I Saw Mummy Kissing Santa Claus, as to me it glamorised a little girl catching her mother cheating on her father. Well, funnily enough, that's how I read it.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, it dawned on me very slowly. Little insight into my childhood.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything.
It dawned on me very slowly, whilst listening to it the other day, that the Santa Claus in question is probably her dad. It's given the song rather more innocent and lovely hue.
Yeah.
And then I think of Phil Spector. It's all massively confusing for me.
I think Phil Spector did the song I Saw Mummy Kissing Santa Claus, brackets, and so shot them both. Close brackets. Yes, well, I did know that, but
I
I
didn't know that either. I've only just realised that.
The idea it was
Yeah.
some terrible tale of infidelity discovered. I
know,
saw
I'm-
Mommy kissing Santa Claus.
Right.
She was
I thought
drunk.
that.
She didn't know what she was doing.
I get that.
He was all over her like a rash.
Yeah.
Oh,
Leave
vile.
it, Santa. Yeah.
I've gone off it now.
I'm ready for Santa though. I can't wait. I can tell that I'm getting ready for Christmas because I've been getting really irritable about very minor things, which usually means that I need
Is that
to
how
stop.
you prepare?
It usually
We've
means
just
that I
put a
need
tree
to
up.
stop travelling and eat some gammon and get some new socks.
Uh-huh.
I get genuinely excited about the
Eat
fact
some
that
gammon.
I love gammon at Christmas. I love gammon anyway, but you know it's tradition. You have a massive gammon. And I've been getting really... The other day, somebody was on the phone to me, and I thought I could hear them smoking, and caught myself getting a wave of anger, like, are they smoking whilst on the phone? At least say it. At least tell me, oh yeah, I'm smoking.
I don't think you can get secondary smoking.
No, I know.
Through the mouthpiece.
I know, it's unnecessary anger, but there's a bit of me that was like, God, why can't they just tell me that they're smoking? Like, really weird. And then thought, I wonder if they can hear me having a sip of my cup of tea or something. And the other day, I texted my wife while she was walking our son round to the school, and the phone buzzed on the table behind me. I texted a phone that was in the same room as me. I was incandescent with rage. Honestly, it was like Basil Fawlty levels of rage, and I just think it's definitely time for Christmas, isn't it? If you're getting that angry.
Well, I've
about
had a
little
lovely
things.
a sense of diminishing annoyance over the last 2 weeks, because in our flats they're putting carpet down in the common areas.
Oh, well, you're getting carpet in the common parts.
Yeah, and yeah, I know
That
it
sounds
happens.
like a
It happens when you get to my age, and quite a thick pile. But that's another story, as you would say. No, honestly, when they're outside the flat, we're on the 11th floor, and when they were outside the flat, it was really. I mean, it's really, and you know, people they don't even. It's not even a sort of manly hammering when you're putting down a carpet. It's not. Like, you know, it's
Wow. Yeah.
it's tap, 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 tap. It's like a woodpecker at the door. And it's really annoying. And over the course of 2 weeks, it's gone down the floors.
Oh,
So now it's about the third floor. I can still hear it,
Can
but
you?
it gets a little bit less annoying with each floor. It's really something to look forward to. So it's not really annoying, gone. It's really annoying, bit less annoying, bit less annoying, bit less annoying. And it's like a ramp. It's got a ramp. My annoyance.
Anton Dubek in tap shoes, I'm imagining.
Yes, well, he's actually inside my flat. Just tap shoes and a bow tie. In a bit like the what was that that male group, the Chesterfields?
Oh no, that's
Chippendales.
Sofa,
I know they were
Chesterfield.
furniture based. The Chesterfields was probably the northern version.
Like their tribute act, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, I love the Chesterfields.
the full Monty featuring the Chesterfields. Isn't it quite a lovely town, Chesterfield? I'm thinking isn't it all gothic and smashing? I know it sounds like it shouldn't be, but I think it's quite nice.
What is Chesterfield?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's all right.
I've
Yeah.
had a lot of
Yeah.
reaction to our horse comments.
Oh dear.
Have you? Oh dear.
I think it's fair to say we've divided people really over
But not
this.
conquered.
No.
What, the goats from the horses?
Well, Ian says, Frank, you saying horses are a bit pony.
Funny.
Very good.
Sam is not very happy with us.
No.
I cannot believe you were saying that about horses. I always love listening to you on a Saturday morning, but you were so very wrong about them.
Oh dear, that's kind of hasn't gone very well. has it?
So very wrong.
Yeah, that'll be Willie Carson. I wish he'd stayed in the jungle. That's what he's going to be like.
Absolute Radio. Frank Skinner.
I had a very informative text in.
Just a minute, I have to reintroduce the show.
Oh, okay.
Hey, it's Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Alan Cochrane and Emily Dean. Not necessarily in that order. Carry on.
Well, I was about to say I've had a very informative text in. As you know, I only joined this show in June, so I was unaware of this fact. But 363 has texted in, Dear Frank, Emily and Alan, just want to say how proud I am that you are still talking about IEM's, idiotic eureka moments, ever since I texted in last year.
Oh, it's him.
Yeah, about my wife Michelle and her back in the habit faux pas with Sister Act 2.
Yes.
Gary Davenport in Godalming.
Sorry, lovely area.
God-
No need to apologise, love.
Gary,
Right?
I've often thought when we've talked about idiotic eureka moments, oh God, who was the bloke who sent this in originally? Because it was totally a listener-led idea, and it was Gary from
And it's like
Godalming.
nuclear power now, and it can't be put back in the box. It's
No,
out.
but no, he's Well, he's an historic member of the show. In fact, I have to say that Gary from Godalming, I say Godalming, is officially
Yeah.
friend of the show. Yeah, he's helped
good. That
us
must
too.
be
I'm
really
glad
helpful.
we've given him his proppers.
Yeah.
Yeah, how lovely. It was always a great idea, the idiotic eureka moment. If you want to text us about anything, we're on 8 12 15, as we always are. And you know what? I have nothing to add to that.
Well, I have, to add in general, because, Frank, I have a new OC. May I remind you, gentlemen, what an OC is when it's in my context?
I think I remember, but go on.
It's an obscure crush.
Yes, indeed. It was Vince Cable once.
Yes.
Was it really?
Yes.
For a while.
And the son of the shamed canoe man.
Oh, yeah, of course, the son of the shame canoe man. Sounds like an old music hall song. The son of the shame canoe man that I knew. Hey, lady! We should have sung that at the absolute 19th century
Launch.
launch. That's what it'll be. It'll be absolute 19th. It'll be the new their new
Yes.
radio station. That's why we're all dressed as Victorians.
Oh, yeah, it will be.
If you've just tuned in,
Look forward to those tunes.
yeah, I won't bother explaining.
No.
We'll talk about new stuff now, so you don't feel left out.
So, Frank, my OC, he's involved in one of my favourite reality shows. I'm going to call it a reality show. It's
is
The
he,
Only Way is Leveson, I call it.
Oh, that.
The Leveson Inquiry. I've been glued to it. I've been downloading it. I watch it all the time.
I think it's Leveson awful. It's taking the Juicing advert and running with it.
No.
Go on, carry on, yeah. Who is it from the Leveson Inquiry?
Well, it's not
is
Lord
it Steve
Leveson.
Coogan?
No. It's not Lord Leveson. I'm not that weird.
No.
He's a funny-looking character.
Well, you know, he's a serious individual. He has no
Is
time
he?
for sexual allure.
Is he? I don't rate him. But anyway, I actually I have a massive crush on David Sherborne, who's the celebrity lawyer. He would be the celebrity lawyer that I like. He's very dashing, Frank.
He was the one who arrived with Hugh Grant. You see that
Thick,
one?
Lovely, lustrous, black,
Oh, no, I
tufty
don't,
hair.
I don't. He looks to me like he smells of shaving lotion. You know that kind of bloke.
Oh, right, yeah. He
Yeah.
represents them all, doesn't he?
Oh, he
represents
does.
them all.
Skinny, strokes tie. And he's like Harrison Ford in the courtroom speech. I just think he's brilliant. He's my
Is he?
favourite.
Oh, he's my favourite. You're going a bit Brucey there. Oh, your favourite.
Well, as you know, I've always been slightly affronted that I wasn't hacked.
Were you not hacked?
No, I took it as an almighty slap in the face. And I've never felt that more keenly than this week when Anne Diamond stepped into the dock, and I thought, well, they couldn't be bothered to hack my phone, but they were queuing up to find out the general tittle-tattle of Anne Diamond.
Oh, no.
I thought, how long has this phone hacking been going on? It's been going on since before there were mobile phones, is all I can...
Yeah.
And then she gets up and she does that thing that Richard and Judy does, describes herself as a journalist.
Does
You know, people who are a bit sort of TV souffle type
Yeah.
people, just,
Yeah.
you know, TV presenters. Don't call yourself journalists as if you're hard hitting out there in the war zone instead of doing something about a multicoloured bus stop in Warwick. But it did remind me, because she's up there giving her views and as if she's, you know, very authoritative. But
She wore a chunky knit, I seem to recall. Yes, she did.
did she wear a chunky knit in court?
Yeah, I think she might have, yeah.
Oh, okay. I bet it wasn't as nice since she's washed it.
No.
No.
But she, there she is giving her evidence and people making notes and all being taken seriously. It's only about, I bet, 12 months that she was in the Daily Mail saying that a ghost had tried to sell her a house.
Is that right?
Absolute Radio. Frank Skinner.
So Anne Diamond is looking for houses a few years back and turns up at this place with her mum. Old lady lets her in, says, have a look round, help yourselves. They have a wander round. They like it. Anne's thinking possibly putting in an offer. Go low, we'll see how it goes. They come back to sit, can't find the little old lady. So they're wandering around the house, they go into the living room, they sit down and say, well, that's a bit weird, we don't have the keys, we can't even lock up when we go. And then the mother says to Anne, and Anne Diamond says, yes. She says, well, there was no furniture when we came in, what are we sitting on? They realised they were sitting on an enormous coffin.
No.
in the middle of the living room. So they become distressed and dash out the house, phone the estate agent, well, you would, and said, what's going on? This
Rather curious he wasn't there in the first place, but never mind.
The estate agent said that's impossible because I've got the keys to that house, and the old lady who lived there died some 3 weeks gone.
Was it a dark and stormy night?
Some 3 weeks gone.
She was
Was it John Lennon? His archaic language.
She was found lying on the living room floor, exactly where the coffin had been.
Oh, no way.
So not only was she a ghost, but she had a ghost coffin as well.
Right. You know what I think?
Ghost wood.
I think Anne and her mum were going to view a house and they popped to Weatherspoons on the way and had a view in the afternoon.
You can't say that about Anne Diamond.
I can if I want. I mean, if you think a ghost has showed you around a house, you've started early, that's what I say.
Well, as it turns out, I've actually hacked Anne Diamond's phone. So we can just make this. Hello, Mum. Hello, Anne. Look, I haven't been in the paper for about 4 years. I wonder if you'd back me up on a story. Oh, what is it this time? Well, it's a sort of a ghost trying to sell me a house. What do you think? Oh, Anne, for goodness sake! That's all I got, but I think the evidence is there.
Nice.
And the mother characterisation, I thought, was sterling work.
Thank you very much, Sterling Ware. What happened to him? Have we heard from the outside world?
Well, we have. We've had a really nice text in from Tom George saying he's on dialysis at Guy's Hospital. Thank God you guys make me smile on a Saturday morning.
Oh, he's part of our hardcore dialysis following. Tom, that's lovely. Thank you very much for that. Dialysis, of course, is isn't he that Welsh golfer?
Dialysis.
I think so. Get well soon, Tom, if that's an appropriate thing to say.
And Cockrell, have you been watching The Only Way is Leveson?
I've seen a bit of it, but I'm perplexed by it slightly. I don't know. Has it actually got any power at the end of it all? I caught myself wondering the other day, does the Leveson inquiry have teeth? And then Steve Coogan came on and I thought, oh yeah, it's got teeth. He's got quite a mouth on it.
I think at the end the idea is that Lord Leveson looks into the camera and goes, hey, just watch it in future. That's it.
That sounds like it might be.
Yeah.
But he's not much good. He doesn't read the papers. He admitted that the other day.
Really?
They said in today's papers, he hadn't seen them. He hadn't seen them 2 days running.
No, I think he listened to the phone calls 2 weeks before, so he knows what's coming.
I saw it the other day when that teacher that had been wrongly accused of the murder of the girl.
Let's not go into the dark side. It's a comedy show.
But he's changed his appearance, and he was saying, I had to change my appearance and stuff. But I caught myself getting exponentially irritated because he'd left a little label on his sleeve on a new suit. You know, when you get the little brand
that
label.
thing on the... I'm never quite sure whether to take those off or not.
Well, I was going to ask Emily, get rid of it. Surely you get rid of it if it says what...
Get rid of it immediately.
And do you know what else annoys
about?
me? Not what else annoys me is sometimes you see people at events or on the tube go into an event and they've got a suit on, but they've left the stitches on the flaps. So the flaps are still stuck. Oh, God, it makes me mental.
And how terrible when you go to put something in a breast pocket on a new suit and it's stitched.
Yeah.
Oh, always loosen the vent. Always loosen the vent.
Always loosen the vent. That's what Ray Allen told me. What about when Charlotte Church... Did you see Charlotte Church speak?
Yeah.
There's a bit where she was outraged by the way she'd been treated by the Murdoch Kingdom.
Was.
But there was a bit...
Did you just say she looked lovely?
She did look lovely.
She did look lovely.
But
lovely, very chic courtrooom attire. Right. Unlike Paul McMullen, who could learn a few lessons.
I liked it, though, when she lapsed, when she said, and we were flown out there on Rupert Murdoch's private jet, which was great. No, don't be too over-enthusiastic. She also said she was asked to sing. Did you see? She was asked to sing P.R. Jesu at their wedding.
Oh, yeah.
And she said, I explained to the publicist that P.R. Jesu is actually a funeral
Yeah, it's a requiem.
song.
Oh.
It turns out that they knew it was a funeral song, but Wendy Ding was just using it as motivation.
Absolute Radio with Frank Skinner.
So, Frank, stop all the clocks. Nancy...
Is it going to be a bit of W.A. Jordan?
Close. It's Nancy Delolio, who's almost a friend of the show. I would say
She's not a friend of mine.
She gets so many name checks on this show.
I always think anyone who you can easily imagine on a yacht, you should avoid. generally in
Oh
life.
dear, we better talk afterwards. Nancy, Frank, that's got a little ring to it, has been approached for...
Many times, I would have thought. Yeah.
No, but not in a car this time. No, she's been approached for £250,000. She's been asked to, if she'll pose in Playboy. But...
And she's 50.
Is
Be fair.
she?
She's 50.
50 years old. Not,
Is she?
Not she's
Yeah.
50,000.
Oh, you think she's that little older?
Yes.
Oh, she looks...
showbiz age.
That's more...
Showbiz age.
That's even better then, 'cause she looks great for 50.
She
She looks
says...
magnificent for 71, which is what you're signifying with your fingers at the moment.
She says there's going to be a series of flamenco-style poses.
What, one leg?
No, but I'm...
Oh, that's flamingo.
I'm thinking more-
Sorry. I'd like to see her doing her standing in shallow water on one leg. No, Nancy.
The Karate Kid.
Flamenco.
No, it was
Oh, you should have said that. Oh, you're spelling it terribly handwriting. Can I read it?
No more, you know, I'm seeing fans and castanets.
Yeah.
That's...
Not that many fans. Yes.
So she says she's going to show top and bottom in a tasteful way.
No.
In a tasteful way, Frank.
No, there is no tasteful way. I thought she was a lawyer.
No, she didn't. Frank, I've explained this to you. When a friend of ours met her, she said, "I lawyer," which
Yes.
didn't convince me.
No, but
frankly.
it's a second language, to be fair.
How good's your Italian?
I think she's a property lawyer, is what she is.
Right.
Which means she always gets a good settlement. But
Yes.
I think she's letting herself down on this one, I have to say.
Oh, I think. Well, she might have. When she says tasteful, does that mean there'll be something protecting her modesty? I hope so.
Oh dear, I don't even want to think about it.
She could have John Ray Ballowing, world's smallest man.
Yeah. He's always looking for photo work. Well, who reads Playboy?
No one.
No
I don't
one
think.
at all. Who looks at it? Who buys it nowadays?
Yeah.
When's the last time you saw a copy of it anywhere?
You
Well,
asking the cockerel that on air, on live radio?
No, I just think it's one of the
Valid.
two great mysteries in modern selling and buying is that who on earth
Commerce.
buys Playboy and who on earth shops at past times? These are two of the great questions I'd like to know.
It's right though. Playboy is one of those things that I assume that at some point in my life I've read or looked at, and I never have. In that way, it's very like The Female Eunuch by Jermaine Greer. I
Yes.
just always assume that I've read it.
I think you're probably the first man to say that Playboy is very like the female unit.
Unlike The Female Eunuch, I don't think I ever boasted to girls when I was in my 20s that I'd read it in order to try and get off with them.
No, but it is one of those things that you hear it mentioned in an article like this and you think, is that still...
Yeah.
Like when I recently read an article saying that someone, in an interview with the TV Times, I
Yes.
thought, when? When did that happen?
20 years ago.
Yeah, but it's still going, apparently. EastEnders, they tell me, is still on. You believe that? What I'd like to know about Nancy is, if you went round her house, I imagine she has an apartment.
Me too, yeah.
Yes.
Because of the stairs, there'd be a killer.
What do you think you'd see in her bookcase? Whenever I go around people's houses, I always think a very good way of judging is to have a look at the bookcase. You can
Yeah.
tell a lot. There's certain things that, if I go around a bloke's house and there's an Andy McNabb in there, I always think, no, forget about it.
Wouldn't that be great if you went to Nancy and it was just full of Bravo 2 zeros?
Yeah, I think that's the likely. Would be full of brass.
Bravo.
I'm thinking glossy coffee tables, the joy of dogs, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it could be something like that. Oh, yeah. And
Maybe
the
a
other
car
one,
book.
the other one is an absolute... If I see it in someone's bookcase, I think that's it. I'm never going to speak to this person again. And also, on the way out, I'm going to leave some sort of incendiary device. Is 101 things to do with a dead cat. In fact, anything from the humour section of a book.
Yes.
Yeah.
My current one, as an absolute no-go in someone's house, is the Steve Jobs biography. Yeah, I think, no, they're not my kind of person.
Absolute Radio with Frank Skinner.
Frank, we've heard from the outside world.
Good.
We've had some emails in during the week, including this one from Joe Peters, which I'm personally very fond of, for reasons which will become clear imminently. Hi, Frank, Emily and the Cockerel. I'm a long-time listener, but first-time writer to the show, and just thought you'd find this story interesting. I'm studying in Liverpool and was recently taking a lunch break in the city centre when I decided to go into the local bookmakers. I only have...
Can I stop you there? How wonderful. He's studying. He's a student.
Yes.
I'm glad people still go to the... I fear that online betting to put a stop to that. It always was, in my childhood, the most profoundly working class place. For men, that. For women, the bingo. But so brilliantly and magnificently worked. I'd say one of the ultimate badges of working classness is the 3-inch biro. Anyway, carry on. I love that. I love him so far.
Yeah. So Joe continues, I only had £5 on me and was intending to do a football bet when I saw a horse racing in a second race called Posh Emily. Everybody knows, listening to the show, that Emily is often referred to as Posh. The horse was a 9-2 outsider. Have I pronounced that correctly, Cockerell?
Yeah.
9-2 outsider?
I believe so.
So I decided I couldn't let it slip and bet my £5. To my elation, the horse came first, securing a £27 return, a lot for a student. Just wanted to say thank you to the guys, especially the lovely Emily, for paying for my food for the week.
Oh, that's nice.
27 quid will buy his food for the week.
Yeah, that's about...
And yet he puts £5 on a horse.
That's about 50 pot noodles, isn't it?
He's a reckless character,
isn't he?
This guy.
Oh, goodness me.
The 3-inch biro. The other thing is, you always used to know if someone had been in prison if they had a very ornate tobacco tin. A lot of time on your hands. And you know they'd been in a place where tobacco had some real status.
I'm pleased for Joe, though.
Yeah.
Posh Emily, well, I'm going to keep an eye out for that one.
Me too.
Yeah.
The old nag came good.
Well, you said it.
Yes, I did.
My mum would have said, it must be fate. It must be fate. That's one of her catchphrases. She's not in show business. She just lives a life like that.
No, it's a pity because she could have been a fabulous astrologer.
Absolute Radio with Frank Skinner.
Can you believe the Cockerel's still talking about gammon? In our end is our beginning. And what's so exciting? Don't you know that man cannot worship God and gammon?
Well, if I had to choose, I'd go gammon, Frank, I'll be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know gammon was particularly Christmassy either.
No, she's African, isn't she? I'm not even sure they celebrate. Oh, sorry, I got completely confused.
He's talking about Gamu from X Factor.
You won't even know that, Miss Alun, with your anti-populist TV stance.
He doesn't. I just have a sick...
It's a slouch, that's what it is.
I have a sick ability to be able to crawl into your mind.
Oh, what, to my mind? Yeah, but, it's not such a bad place to be.
No, it's lovely there, Frank. I might stay a while. Frank...
Don't open that door.
The numbskulls. Thank you very much. Not something you'll be hearing much in this studio.
What?
Because, well...
What happened?
No, the word thank you is out of vogue. Apparently no one's saying it anymore. I'm sorry, the phrase.
Okay.
Oh, I love a pedant in the morning. Apparently it's out of vogue. 1 in 20 people say nice one instead, which I can't bear.
People still say nice one.
It's very Danny Dyer.
Yeah.
Nobody said... I haven't heard anyone say nice one since I stopped sleeping around.
Oh, God.
Nice People don't say nice one. Oh, nice one. Do they?
Yes.
Nice one.
Incredible.
And apparently also in vogue, cheers, fab and cool.
Cheers, of course.
Cheers it sort of makes some sense, but I'm a
TV critic.
Yeah.
This is an episode called The Very, Very Tardy TV Critic. Cheers makes some sense, but I'm not... I don't know if you've ever been to the southern states of America.
Oh.
But in there they do this thing that if you thank them... Like if you're in a restaurant and they bring you some grits, for example, or some maybe biscuits and gravy, and you thank them, you say thank you very much, they go,
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds nice.
In a kind of a you're welcome, but I think it's and they all do it, and I thought, I love this, I'm going to try and introduce this when I get back to England. But as you can imagine, I just got a sideways look.
Yeah.
But it's great.
Thank you for that.
And I also, I occasionally get letters from old age pensioners. I think we all do. But I don't send money, but I do like the fact that they all often end a letter, it's biro, handwritten beautifully, often end it, much obliged.
Oh, nice.
Oh, now, do you know, that's a favourite of Derek Akora's. He says that to the spirits. He goes, if you would leave this parcel, we'd be very much obliged. He has said that.
I suppose he has to adapt his language, because the spirits would be old, wouldn't they?
I don't know if they keep up.
They'd be of a different generation, wouldn't they?
I can't imagine them sitting down in the world of spirits, waiting for that newspaper article you get every 12 months about new words in the OED.
Right, yes.
No, that's the trouble with a lot of dead people. They're behind the times.
Yeah.
They're not with it.
No. My dad's ex-girlfriend used to say danke all the time.
Oh, danke schön.
Yeah.
Sure, that's my dad's ex-girlfriend. Truly, this is the 21st century.
Yeah.
So anyway, we move now towards our end. If you'd like to listen to Not the Weekend podcast, many do. You can download that. Yes, I said download. It's available from Wednesday morning officially, but you can get it Tuesday evenings between you and me. And that is more of this, but it's only available on online. So it's nothing, it's separate, new, different stuff. Vicky Blight's next. Good old Vicky Blight. And I think I don't have anything to add. Thank you very much for listening. Much obliged. Cheers. Nice one. And if the good Lord's willing and the creeks don't rise, we'll be back this time next week. Ta-da a bit.
Frank Skinner. Absolute Radio.